Hello everyone, say hello Harry.
Hello everyone.
Welcome back to the channel. How does it feel to be back so soon?
Do you know what, I'm absolutely buzzing to be honest to be back, and it's a lovely location that you've got today, isn't it?
Well, actually, quite a good introduction to what I'm going to say actually, because if you're regular to my channel, you know that this location here is called Burrows Bridge. It's what I've been fighting the campaign for. This whole area is about to be ripped apart and built on, and I'm trying to put a stop to it. And I'm going to keep. Can you just put your finger right there, Harry? Hopefully your hand's in. That is where a barcode's going to go. Yeah. Oh, very nice. Very nicely done. So a barcode which you can scan across no matter what time. You can just scan it and it'll take you to a group which I'm leading right now to campaign against this development. So I'm going to keep it on, and let's get into the interview, shall we? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ooh, roll the titles. I have to get a quick drink. Ah! It's been a while since someone exploded on me. Don't worry, it'll all come clean in the edit.
God.
So, how long's it been now since we did the last interview?
It was Sunday, wasn't it?
Be more specific.
God, what day was it? Was it in December time we did it, or November?
No. When was it? It must have been about... Oh, I can't remember now, but we're in Liverpool City Centre, weren't we?
Yeah, we were in town.
And it was a really good location. It was... This is warmer.
Yeah, it was. It was freezing last time we. It was freezing last time we did it, because I remember the sun was coming up.
Yeah.
And it was warm. And the next minute you were like, "Oh, for God's sake, we've got to end the interview now because it's freezing."
And that's what really pissed me off, because I was like, we're just getting into it, and I thought, well, we could dig a little deeper onto this. But it's actually now. It's just been Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's now New Year's Eve. So happy New Year to all you out there, no matter what time of day you're watching this, whatever week you're watching it. Happy New Year to you.
Make 2022 a good one.
Yeah, indeed, I like that. You and your accents, which we'll get into in just a second. But are you up to anything? Are you down for the toilet?
No, I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Because there is a bush down there, isn't it?
No, I'm alright.
I've been known to fiddle. But last time we spoke to you, you were making your debut on Drake's channel. And Drake's... how's it all been going?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I finished the 4th episode now of Drake. In fact, I'm like ahead of everyone, to be honest with you, because it takes like 3 months to film for his channel. That's how long people actually take to film the Draco Lloyd, like...
So the filming takes longer than the edit, do you think?
Yeah. It actually takes longer, because it's so weird, because the first page is like 10, and then this one is like the 4th episode is like 18 pages. So it's like
front and back.
It's like it's literally mad, to be honest with you. And then I'm sitting there having to remember all these lines, not knowing how these actors are going to act.
This is the one thing I wanted to ask. I mean, do you have to learn these lines word for word, or do you have to read it from the script? Because I remember when I was on your channel recently doing the travel shop, and I noticed in watching it back that I was reading from the script rather than remembering a line, because I didn't have the time to learn it, and that's a detriment to the character.
It's weird, to be honest with you, because for me, I like to remember lines, because it all goes back to when I was in college and the teacher used to say to me, if you remember your lines, you can work with the character more, and then that way you can like bring your own interpretation to it, and you can like experiment more with it, because when you've got a script in front of you, as actors, it's so easy to look at the script, and it's so easy to like obviously act, but then you're not acting, are you? You're just reading the script, going, oh shit, if I take the script away, I can't remember the line.
As actors, learning the line is the first bit.
Yeah.
And then you work down into, well, what layers can I pull from the script?
Yeah.
And then what is this person about? And then you get into the emotion, and then it becomes living. And they always talk about method actors, don't they?
Yeah.
And about how they become the character, and they're like that forever. And there's certain methods that I like that are much better to learn the lines as well.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like you you want to take in those lines so you can be more authentic, and so maybe other people don't do that to their detriment, really.
Yeah, it's weird really, because with the web series I'm working on as well, you've got a mixed bag of actors
Yeah.
as well. But it's so weird because like obviously as an actor you're used to going on set, aren't you? And you're used to like acting with people. And it's like, for example, like if I act with you, I know how you're gonna act the thing, and then you know how I'm gonna act it, and then so on and so forth. With a web series, you don't know who you're gonna act with, and it's like you've put a green screen up, do your lines, and you think, I don't know how the other actors are gonna act it, so how do I know how to put my own spin on it?
Well, this is what's also a positive for those sorts of things, but it's also a negative because when you're shooting them out of context, you can't place yourself properly in the scene, and that's why you've got to be on point when it comes to these sorts of things. But going back to your YouTube a minute, a lot's going to start happening in 2022, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'd like it to start happening in 2022.
No, you don't like it. You enable it to happen.
Yeah,
you will it. Yeah, because you've got the talent, you've got the ability. You just need to enable it to happen with time. With time. So what's going to happen to you? What would you like to see happen?
I'd like to try and reach like 100 views on me channel. Like I'd like to go up to like 100 views if I can.
What, on the travel shop or something
on
like
the
that?
travel shop, and on like if I post another comedy sketch, I'd like it to at least go to 100 views.
On your shorts. I mean,
Yeah.
I know shorts are different, but you've been getting consistently. Well, it goes up and then down.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
I mean, like I would like to reach 100 views on like a proper video rather than just like your odd 20s or your 30s, which is great, but I want to aim for like kind of better than that. Do you know what I mean?
It'll all come in time, and I think we said this before. In the summer, while you were massively busy, I was sort of trying to figure out my YouTube, and it took all summer to sort of figure that out, and then go further. And I think
dig a little deeper.
Through winter, that's when your audience is there, because they don't want to go out. They're staying in. So remember last year when we first started, it's nearly our year anniversary, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Thanks, babe. It's so weird as well when you look back at like what we did. Like I was saying, like my mum was saying, why aren't you doing like a live stream with Stephen now? It was like we used to do a live stream like every week, and like what you were saying about the audience and that, the audience having time to watch it.
Live is pinpoint, and I'm still going to do live shows. I'm maybe going to do one once a month in January, February, March and onwards. But live shows, it's hard to pin people down.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of effort to set it up, and plus it costs me a bloody fortune. Jake charges me 20 quid a fucking pop. Do you know what I mean? I've got no money for that. So and if I can just flip my phone on and go, hi everyone, and edit it in an afternoon, it's quicker.
Yeah, it is.
We will do one. Honestly, we will get back round to doing it, because I feel like there's something missing when I'm not doing a live show. I love live shows.
I mean, it's a whole like you can be like someone else as well, can't you? Because you've got like an audience there. You can like act daft in front of an audience and stuff like that.
But I think, and this is what we said alluded to in our last video, is that we were struggling to find ourselves. It took me a while to find myself, and it had to be done individually. It had to be done. You had to sit in your room and go, right, what do I want to do?
Yeah, what do I want to do?
And now I think you figured that out, haven't you?
Yeah, it's weird really, because it took me how many months? 12 months to figure it out.
Well, I'd say
maybe more.
we started doing live shows in
January
May.
Time, was it?
No, that's when we started talking about it.
Oh yeah.
Because we met this time last year.
Yeah, was it April time?
And then we started planning it, and then we started to get out. I think March was when I did a Grumpy Vegan Grandad interview in February.
Yeah.
And then we started the ball rolling on lives in March. So I think about April.
That's do you know what? That's like flown by, hasn't it, when you think about it?
And again, it took us how many months were we doing live shows consistently? It was about 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And then we started to go our own way a little bit in August, because it was a busy month. And then September I did my own thing, and so did you.
Yeah.
I don't regret that. I think we needed that time to sort of think about our craft. And what you're doing with the travel shop it works so well
Yeah.
that I think are you nervous that the travel shop will be a success or not a success? Is it getting you down? You just want that creativity to pour out and people to watch it, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's so weird because with the travel shop, I've had loads of people like the likes of your son saying, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I love it." And then obviously I showed my cousin it the other day, like when she came round to ours, and she was like, "Oh my god, if I had YouTube, I would subscribe to you because you're hilarious." And
Tell
I
her
was
to get YouTube then.
like, but
How old's she?
9.
Oh, there you go. Can't then.
But it's one of them things as well because you're putting the travel shop out there. It's getting noticed more because I'm like pushing it through Twitter as well, and I'm always like kind of tweeting about it. And the viewership's great, but I want like kind of more views so like people can kind of go, "Oh, who's this kid?" Do you know what I mean? And then so on and so forth.
The one thing I was going to bring up to you, and are you going to continue to make the travel shop? Is it going to be an ongoing series?
To be honest with you, I want to try and do other like.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be massively regular. Is it? Let's say once a month, once every 2 weeks.
I'm going to try. I mean, the travel shop is. I was only going to do it for 2 series. To be honest with you, I was only going to do like 6 episodes of like series 2. To be honest, that's all I originally had in mind because I wanted to try and move on to the next comedy sketch in my life.
Which is?
Well, other challenging like other characters that I've been through. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just because I wanna do something different than just a travel shop.
No, I'm only asking that because my idea of what you should do, and you don't have to take it up, is that you should always return to populars and then and have a plan of what you're doing in terms of the next sketch. The next sketch is going to be about this. The next sketch is going to be about that, and you'll have individual. Because I'm going to be making your intros from now on. I'm going to be more involved in the background. But what I want you to do is have a consistency. Because if you're going to do sketches, it's going to be out there for people to see and go, "Oh, I look forward to the next one."
Yeah, well, I will bring the travel shop back. Like I will bring the travel shop back. It just hasn't kind of been on my like mind to kind of bring it back yet and introduce like new characters. Do you know what I mean? It will come back because this is another thing as well. When I did the Christmas special, it's weird because I set the premiere to 7:30.
Yeah.
I set the premiere to 7:30. Think it was 7:30 p.m. Not realising it was 7:30 a.m. So when I woke up on Christmas Day, I was like, "Oh my god, it's reached 4 views." And I was like, "Oh my, people are getting up at 7:30.
It took me by surprise too, because I was like, "It's already on." I thought this was going to be a big thing later on. What's going on?
I know. I was thinking. I thought to set it to 7:30 p.m. for people to watch, and I didn't realise it set it to 7:30.
Well, if I knew you were going to do that, well, I knew you didn't, but if I knew you were going to do it, I would have put a graphic on like you're unwrapping a present on Christmas morning. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you should have really done that.
Well, I wouldn't have known. I didn't know that. But I mean, going forward, I mean, are you excited? I mean, what does YouTube mean to you as a tool? Because you've been umming and ahhing about it all year, you know.
Well, it's weird with YouTube, to be honest with you, because like you say, like YouTube's like one of the most like fickle things. If you don't consistently put stuff on, people tend to go elsewhere. I like YouTube more because in a sense of me, like I want to do acting, so I want people to know me in a different way for acting. I don't want people kind of knowing me for like, you go into an acting class and you go, "Oh, he's just a bore, he doesn't get involved in anything." I want someone to see me and go, "Do you know what, okay, he's not like a really like outgoing person, but he's got talent." And as long as you've got that, and as long as you're willing to dig a little deeper into character, improvising characters in a way, then that's what it's all about, and that's what I enjoy doing.
This is exactly why I do this interviews, because I think some actors fall by the wayside because, again, confidence. Most creatives are quiet, shy,
Yeah.
don't talk, and they don't like talking about themselves. And half the point in acting and getting out there and getting your stuff out there is so people can relate to you.
Yeah.
It's about getting your voice out there and in the writing or in the acting. So the point of this is to sort of bring you out your shell a little bit and just introduce yourself more, because I think you hide a bit too much.
Well, that's the thing as well. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, I do hide a lot. Like, it's weird when I went to, well, obviously going back to college and we used to play games. I used to feel so uncomfortable playing games. I used to absolutely hate.
What do you mean, like improv games?
No, like just general games. Like, we used to play a game called, it's such a stupid game actually, called leg ladders, where you lie on the floor.
Right.
You lie on the floor, for example, and you have your legs far apart, and the other person's got their legs far apart, and you've got to run over their legs, and like you're in time with them and all that malark. It used to be like stupid games like that, and used to play like Splat and stuff like that, like confidence games, where I used to just think like,
well, it's letting loose games, isn't it? It sounds like
it's letting loose games, but in a sense, because like obviously, like for me, you like acting like the cool kid. You don't like to embarrass yourself, because it's like, oh god, if so and so watches me, I look like a dickhead there. It's like, I didn't like that. So when it came to acting and when it came to like serious stuff, I never used to let it all out, because there used to be kids in my class that used to be more outgoing and more like confident, where you didn't really kind of want to kind of step in, because they made you feel like there was no purpose of you being there, until I did like an improvisation comedy thing for one of my units in college, and that's when people actually knew I had a talent. Otherwise, I just used to kind of like be one of those kids that used to be like, don't pick me, what are you doing, don't pick me. It was one of them.
Yeah, because you had that natural ability to do that. If you're a kid who's shy and just shy, being picked out of a crowd's terrible, especially in sports.
Yeah, I mean, it was like one of those things as well. Like my biggest thing is reading in front. It's so weird actually. My biggest thing is reading in front of people, and obviously I've got a bit of dyslexia as well, to be honest with you. So when it comes to new words, I hate reading out in front of people. Like, I trip up my words so many times.
Yeah, because you need to absorb the words.
Yeah, I'm that type of person that has to absorb what I'm saying.
And take your time with it too.
And take my time.
Yeah.
Where it used to be the case in college, where you used to get like a sheet of paper to tell you what you were doing coursework-wise. And the teacher would be like, right, I want you to read this paragraph of what it's saying. Any volunteers? And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to put my hand up today, because I'm not reading that out. No way. And it used to be like, well, you do it, and I'm thinking,
well, mate, this is all normal stuff, especially when you feel like you've got a problem with your own confidence.
Yeah.
It is normal stuff, but in acting, that enables you to get out there more, do your own thing.
It's so weird. So it comes back from, so my first ever time in college, I obviously auditioned for 2 colleges and got accepted into both, but I could only choose one. So I chose Liverpool Media Academy, because it had the best source of acting, and you're just acting all the time, and it wasn't, you had a bit of writing, but it was more like you could do like theatre stuff as well. And if I didn't choose LMA, I wouldn't have been able to perform in the Echo Arena or the Epstein Theatre, because most colleges like LIPA and LCC, Liverpool City College, have their own stage.
Yeah, so
which
it's limiting.
Which is a bit like, it's limiting your own scope, because you only are used to one thing. Where in acting, you get to the point where you wanna perform in other theatres to get you used to like a crowd and get you used to your own surroundings, rather than just being used to one thing.
Hello.
So that's my thing as well.
Oh, interview.
That's my thing as well, to be honest with you, and that's what I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, well, again, who taught you into acting? Was it you or your parents?
Do you know what taught me into acting? It's weird, because at a young age I used to put on shows, and like my sister's friend was big on the whole acting scene. So like my sister's mate was my sister was in a show in school. It's funny you should say about my sister, because my sister's not big on acting at all, but she used to have this like costume thing, and I used to put it on, and I used to like want to pretend I was in shows and stuff like that, and I used to put on my own shows when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's the same here.
And the thing is, I never used to think of anything of acting at all. I just didn't have a clue. And I used to watch like the likes of Benidorm episodes thinking, oh, I wish I could be in Benidorm and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I used to think, I wish I could be in that, and I wish I could be in that series, and other than that, but I never had the confidence to do it. And my dad used to be like, well, the only way you're going to get into that, Harry, is by actually going out and doing it, because they won't like spot you from being in your house. You've got to go out there and do it yourself.
Exactly. You have to put yourself in the right place at the right time.
So I wasn't sure. So when I went to secondary school, I used to like shy away a lot, and I was the quiet kid in school, and I didn't want to like kind of like mix of like the loud people and mix of like all the popular kids. So it got to year 11 where I was finishing school, and I just happened to be in a French lesson one day, and my acting teacher that was in Coronation Street, his name was called Mr. Jackson, but his first name was called Michael Jackson, which is so weird. Michael Jackson. So we went to like Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, and he was telling me about how he studied acting and about how he got into acting and how he got into acting at a young age. So I was thinking, oh right, okay. So, and I really liked him as a teacher. So I used to act and dance, because I used to do dancing when I was a kid. I used to act and dance in front of my teacher. And I remember one day my mate was in a show. He auditioned for it. I didn't audition for it because like I was with other kids that were like, if you're seeing acting, you know, as who's that prat, who's that prat dancing around there. So it was like, I didn't want to kind of be associated with it, because if you were associated with acting, people would think there was something wrong with you. So I used to act and dance.
Well, sorry, what year was this?
It was when I was in like when I first went into acting.
Yeah, what year was? Because again, things improved by that point, hadn't they?
So when I was in school. So when I was in school, 2011 to 2004.
You're joking? I mean, at that age, people were going mental over acting and performing.
No, when I was in school, because you had like loads of.
Because when I went to school in the 90s, no one did acting.
Yeah, so it was that case where people were doing acting,
but not for the right reasons.
They were only doing it because so and so pushed them into it. Where, for me, I discovered I wanted to do acting because, well, so this is the thing. So he saw I had a talent in it. So he said, I seen that you can act and dance. Your mate hasn't turned up to any rehearsals, and I need someone to fill in for him because this show's like in so many weeks. So I was thinking, oh shit, like I don't know the lines to that. I've never done any acting in my life. So he was like, I want you to play the part of Rooster. So that's how I got into Annie, through that. So I had to do an act off to see who was better. So unfortunately, I was better than my mate, and my mate got annoyed with me then. Yeah. Because I took his part off him. Yeah. But my mate, he went into the same college as me, doing media.
So not acting, but in general.
He went to the same college as me, doing media, and then worked on stuff for Netflix as well. Brilliant. So he's doing well for himself now. Yeah. Hi Harvey.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking over there. Hello, nice to see you.
So so that's how everything came alight. I went into colleges. I went into 2 colleges.
So the crux of the question was it wasn't that someone was like, go there, do that. It was something that came naturally to you.
It was just something that happened. Like for me, that's how I wanted to do acting, because it just happened for me. Like I just used to act and sing in front of my teacher, and then I noticed that I had a talent for it. And there was an American woman, and she's like, "Oh my God, your son's awesome. He's like next Robert De Niro. What's going on?" And and my dad was like, "Yeah, that's my son on stage," and she was like, "He's really good." So I ordered.
You know why that is? Because in school, and it's happened to me too. Yeah. You stand out a mile because you've got that natural ability to sort of connect to an audience. And sometimes, when you see kids on school plays, no disrespect, the kids, I am going to the castle to get the king. you come out and go, "I am the king," and it comes out so naturally to you that people notice the difference.
It's so weird because funny you should say about natural. When I very first did the school show, this was quite funny. This, I had my back turned to the audience, and I didn't have a clue that you weren't allowed to do that in acting. So the woman who was playing Miss Hannigan had to turn me round. So I was like, "Oh, hi guys!" Like, it was like,
So you made it a part of your performance.
yeah. So it was part of the performance. Like, and I dropped my coat and I had the gun in it. I had the gun inside my jacket. And I was like, "Oh, shit!" So I had to take the gun outside of my jacket. Like, and I remember like one of the lads who had acting training before, because he started out at a young age. He did like professional theatre and stuff like that. He played like Daddy Warbucks in Annie. And he was improvising lines. I didn't have a clue about improvisation, so he was like, "So, where's the sheet, Rooster? Like, where's the documentation?" And I was like, "Documents, please. Where are they?" And then my teacher had to come and give me the documents. So I forgot that. It was like, "It'll be all right on the night."
Is this where you developed your improvisation skills?
Well, I was still rubbish at improvisation till I got to college, and one of our units was improvisational skills. And the teacher was like, "You need to learn how to improvise, because if you ever muck up lines, you can just fill in." I was like,
the gap.
"Yeah, you're talking poo there, love." And I was thinking, but like I'm like rubbish at this. And all of a sudden we did like an improvisational task, and there was this group, and this lad that I went to the same school with, that was the year below me, but he was in my class in college when I was in my third year. I was in his group, and his group were going to get a pass because they didn't put the work in at all. But I managed to raise their pass into a distinction because of my characterizational skills, and I didn't have a clue I was good at comedy until that point.
Well, again, you hadn't made that connection yet to the natural ability you had to translate. Because again, this is your thing about emotional depth.
Yeah.
If you can't make that connection, it won't work. It only goes so far, and it comes off as bland. And you sound like you made that connection in college.
It's weird. It taught me an awful lot, in college, because, like I say, like I was surrounded with kids that were naturally more confident, and they were either from performance backgrounds, and because I'm from a family that we weren't performing background.
You just to clarify, your family are all creatives.
Yeah, we are
in their own way, and you're the only actor, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm the only actor in our family. Like I've got a cousin on the other side that used to do performing arts, but none of my family side were actors, so it was kind of like the only person that was good at accent. Of course, my sister's good at accent, of course.
I'd love to hear it.
But she's like, she gets nervous doing it, do you know what I mean? So the only person that's actually good at accents that's managed to actually stay in the whole acting world is me, because I wanted to try and do something.
The important thing to make here is that even though you can do that, your confidence, you're like a paradox. You've got the confidence, then you haven't.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? It's
weird because, like, for me at a certain age, this is what I'm saying. So for me at a certain age, I come across times where I'm thinking, am I making the right decision being in the acting game? Shall I just leave because it's a hard thing, and I'm not the best compared to some people.
That's the devil on your shoulder.
Yeah.
The devil's here and your angel's here, and you're constantly getting different opinions, and you need to decide which one.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only downfall as well. So like I always get like these things. So like at a young age, I was rejected by agencies. So it was like,
what kind of agencies? Do you mean like extra agencies or
no, like
acting?
actual, like I went to acting management agencies. So the first ever agency I went to was Screen Management, and at times like we had to read the script, and I wasn't like kind of like comfortable with that because I didn't have like proper training. I couldn't like adapt to it, so I got rejected from that because it was all to do with confidence. And like I went to another agency, and it took me a year to get auditions from her because she, like, I had in my head she didn't like me, like I didn't like her, and then she pushed me into doing modelling. So it was like that type of thing as well.
See, again, how can you go from someone who's got the natural ability to create a character and improvise to just not saying a word? That seems to me like it pushed you on the wrong path, because to me modelling,
Yeah.
I don't know, you're better than that. If you've got a natural ability to convey a character, that's wasted in modelling.
The thing is though as well, like she used to say to me, so this was one thing that was really funny. My mate was in the mill, and she was obsessed with him. She was like, you need to stick with this kid, he's going to win BAFTAs and all that. He's like 19 now, and he got to a certain age, and this is the thing, I started in that agency when I was 16, and she didn't want to know. She was only interested in the kids, she didn't want to know at all, and she was like one of those agencies where she pushed me into doing modelling because I had sexy legs, and she made me do modelling because she was like, you are a really good model, you know, you can model for Abercrombie and Fitch. So she used to promise me all these modelling gigs that like the top modelling brands are going to come and I'll be watched, and you get scouted. I didn't get scouted. I was wearing my own clothes. She was in the back room on her iPad typing away, and it was a fashion show.
No disrespect to her, and if she's watching, there's no disrespect, but I don't believe she recognised what you've got in talent wise.
Well, see, this is the thing. So like I went to her workshops and all that malark. I went to her workshop agencies and did the best I could with the agencies and all that. And she used to say, when I used to go into groups and I used to give it my all, and she used to go, you're overacting, that's not acting, you're overacting. And I remember one time, because I'd been there for ages, she used to put me with people that couldn't do accents, and she knew I could do accents, but she didn't want to send me for auditions. She just knew I could do accents. So one day she put me in this audition group, and I didn't have a clue what it was for. I didn't have a clue at all. I didn't know what it was for. So she took me out of it. She took me out of it because she thought, you're not ready for this. So she took me out of it.
Do you believe that she was right? Do you reckon that you weren't ready? Because in the time I've known you, there was times where I've gone, right, he's got natural ability, I've found the talent, but then there's no way you were ready for auditions because you weren't able to sort of put yourself out there authentically. Do you get me?
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. Like,
it's a tough gig, even for people who are completely refined and know exactly what they're going to do. They're like the fucking Michael Caines of the world. Even they struggle. So, someone who dillies between confidence and not having confidence, would you have been able to have confidence in that audition room amongst other people who are confident?
So what? That's it's a good question. I think I would still feel nervous, but then I'll think to myself, like, at least I've got the opportunity to do something and prove myself. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think that you, and sorry to interrupt, but I believe that you needed an acting partner, not associated with them, sort of like me, but at an earlier age, who can go, right, where's your strengths and weaknesses, let's play. And no pressure, because I think that you've missed a couple of opportunities here in the past where you could have done something that made that connection. I think it's taken you this long to figure out YouTube, not because you don't understand it, but because that connection has been made to what you need to do. And the same with acting.
Yeah, it's weird, because one of those things now, what I really want to do is, like, this is why I like writing scripts as well, because what I want to do now, it's took me this long to realise, like, I want to act in my own things, and I want to act in it so people can notice that I've got a talent, rather than being like an extra and you just shy away from the background.
But the thing is, people know you've got talent. Yeah. That's not the problem. The problem is you haven't proved it properly in production. Yeah. Not just YouTube, but a proper show reel that demonstrates that talent.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's been half my problem. You can't just keep talking. Talk's cheap. You've got to prove it.
And then that's where it all comes from, me writing stuff, because that's why I want to be able to do something, so I can. It's like I say to someone, oh yeah, I'm an actor, I do this, I do all, yeah, I'm an actor, and they go, okay, so what have you been in? Have you been in stuff I know? And I'm thinking, well, no. Well, you're not an actor then, are you? And I'm thinking, well,
Acting takes various mediums and forms. You could
Yeah.
be on stage, you could be acting for YouTube, you could be doing acting for malls, shopping. It takes every form.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be on a soap. I always
know.
get this.
But this is the thing, people assume that because you've got to be on a soap, you're an actor.
Yeah.
But it's not that at all. Like there's forms of an actor, there's blockbuster movie stars to independent film.
Even the radio
Yeah.
podcasts, the radio plays.
Yeah.
People, if
Exactly.
you said what have they been in, I do a radio show. They go, it's the same. It's the same reaction.
Mhm.
And you've just got to figure out what medium that you fit well in. And
Yeah.
I think YouTube, sketch shows, and even radio, because I'm going into radio soon, would be perfect for you.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to do. I mean, this is another thing as well. So people say to me, "So what would you like to do next?" Like, I would like to do radio. I'd like to kind of give it a go. To be honest with you, because I feel like.
Have you never been in a radio station before?
No.
Well, I have, and this was when I was much younger, when I was about 18, and mate, it was the best experience ever because you're free. You don't have to worry about how you look. It's all about your character of your voice, and to me, that comes across so much easier.
Yeah.
What you think to you?
It's weird, because talking about this is so weird. Talking about your voice and all that. When I watch myself back, I hate the way I sound, but that's because like I kind of get it from. It's weird as well. My mum can be the same. Like she will record a message. God knows I've taken the piss out of her so many years. Like sorry, mum, but I've literally when she records a voice message, she goes, "Oh my God, I hate the way I sound," And like it's so many.
That is a normal reflex because you don't know how you sound
Yeah.
to yourself, do you? Until you hear it back on a recording.
Yeah.
And my mum's the same. She'd be like, "Do you remember I used to press the button for answering machines and record them out? We're not here at the moment."
Yeah.
And she used to be so.
Yeah.
And she used to put on like a Joanna Lumley. "Hello, I'm not here at the moment. Oh,
Yeah.
please leave a message." Oh. I'm like, "Why are you doing that, Mum? You don't sound like that in real life."
I know, that's the thing.
Because she hates her voice.
My
She's
mum,
gonna hate that.
my mum is like the same. Like she'll put on like a telephone voice and go, "Hello, KRN Events," and I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah, because that's corporate. That's very corporate.
It's
Isn't it?
corporate, but she'll be like, she'll talk to me and go, "Hi, Freeze, how are you?" And I'm thinking, "Nah, Mum, just talking normal voice," and I'm thinking.
But you're guilty of this too, because
Yeah.
when we were doing the live shows, we'd be like talking like me and you now, going, and suddenly, click, the camera's on, you'd be going, "Ah yeah," and start putting on this camp persona.
It's weird though. I mean, we can all act. It's weird because we all act in our lives, don't we? We all act in our day-to-day
But
lives.
until you're comfortable with
Yeah.
yourself, being someone else is difficult.
Being someone, do you know what though? It's so weird because I find being someone else more comforting.
Yeah,
to
because
being
you're running away
to
from
being
yourself.
myself.
You need to. Oh, same. Never mind. You need to feel absolutely at ease with yourself and how you cope with yourself. Because again, your confidence is an issue
Yeah,
before you can be someone else.
yeah,
Because then it doesn't come across well. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
I think that your voice is so unique that you could do a character on a cartoon and people go, "Oh, I recognise that voice. That's Harry Scott." And you could be cast in a cartoon or voiceover. There's a guy in work, I don't know if he's going to watch this. He's got I know it from a mile off. He's got a gravelly tone to it, and I keep meaning to say to him, if you're watching this, hi, you would be perfect as a voiceover artist.
It's so weird as well because it's funny you should say that because I remember in college I played a narrator in college and I was auditioning for like many roles like the baker and then the other, I can't remember the other characters now, but I didn't get those parts, which really annoyed me. And the reason why my teacher used to say to me, "You don't fit this part. There's part of the narrator, right, Harry, I want you to read for the narrator," and it all comes down to reading. And I said, and like so I read the narrator and she was like, "Right, you're suited to that part because of my voice and stuff like that." And I was thinking I couldn't like understand what I was playing and stuff like that. So when it came to doing monologues as well, so I did a Cockney one, I did a posh one, and I did American one. and one was classical, one was contemporary, and one was modern. And I did a comedy one that was Cockney. So oh, that was another time. So I did
Get your facts straight.
I did a narrator in a posh voice, and that was more that it felt like I really felt uncomfortable doing it, to be honest, because I was like presenting the whole show.
But why is he uncomfortable doing it?
Because I had to like kind of talk in my normal accent as well as a posh voice, and for me, I loved doing characters.
Yeah, you're safe in that shell.
I'm safe in that shell, so when it came to like presenting and having to do all that, I was thinking,
Has someone left their phone on?
not now, more. Forgot to turn it off.
Well, you could send it on silent. You could have answered it, but I could edit it out. Sorry. Do you want me to edit that bit out?
Yeah,
I'll edit the bit out because you went, fuck off. But no, like you say, you were comfortable in your own shell. You seem to live in that shell and then hide away the rest of the time.
Yeah. So I did another play called Roads, which is I don't remember who that was written by, to be honest with you. It was written by the same person that did Our Day Out, and I did Road, and that was like a gritty. That was a gritty like theatre.
Hang on, you're saying it wrong. Gritty. Go on.
Gritty.
There you go. Wasn't that hard, was it?
So I did that, and it was like a drama piece, and it was kind of so because I was good at the whole comical side of things. It was like I had to play one of those characters that were comical, and everyone else was playing serious. So I thought there's no point auditioning for a serious part because I know I'll get turned away from this now. So we all did our like audition pieces, and there was one called Barry, a character called Barry, and I remember like doing the darts and all that, I put on my own spin on it, and I was like, no, and stuff like that, and I made my teacher laugh, and my teacher was like, right, you've got the part of that because no one else can do it as well as you. So I was trying to do my own like interpretation on the character, and because someone else had a Scouse accent, I did mine in Cockney.
Oh, not a bad choice. Not a bad choice.
I did a Cockney accent. I was like, you can fuck your deal and stuff like that, and that was my line in Road, and from this day I played the main part.
You see what, again, this is exactly what I mean by natural talent, because you saw an approach and you didn't go the lazy route, which is and you went, look at this character, this actually looks better and sounds better in Cockney, and that's a talent that
it was my teacher because like I was doing all sorts of accents, and my teacher was like, this doesn't work for you, I actually saw your monologue and your accent sounds better in Cockney. I was thinking, it's a Scouse play, why do I need to do a Cockney accent if it's a Scouse play? But it actually works in Cockney. And my other drama teacher called Mike, he noticed, so this was down to my drama teacher Mike knew I had the ability to act as well on the first day when he taught me in acting.
It's about uncovering the things that get in the way of that talent, which has always been a problem for every actor, but for you it's more pronounced because I don't believe you've had those life experiences yet that make you connect easier, so it's harder for you, but it will come. It'll come. People are riding past you, but it will come. Are you cold, sir?
I am a bit.
Yeah, it is getting a bit chilly, so we will wrap up the interview in just a second, but I want to focus quickly on what's next for you, because obviously there's going to be a lot between me and you to do. So specifically, what's the focus of your channel in 2022? If you want to achieve something in 2022, what would it be?
Subscribe based stuff. More viewership. I like to get more viewership on my videos because that's a main attraction.
Yeah, because the subscribers are harder not to crack, really.
I know he says subscribers.
Subscribers are money penny.
Subscribers. I would like to get more subscribers. Whether people want to subscribe to me more and keep that consistency flowing, I do not know. But viewership is the big one for me.
Yeah, and again, it will happen. It just takes time. It's taken me
Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say.
Indeed. Hang on. September, October, November, December. It's, I've got 230 subscribers in 3 months.
Yeah.
And that's taken a lot of work, a lot of effort. So again, it's about message and then what's the message? Message and consistency and pushing it. What's the word now? And drive and focus, and it's all those things. And now you've got that idea. I want you to push that message in 2022. So let's say this time next year, because today's New Year's Eve. Did you like that? Yeah. Where would you like to be in subscriber base and content on your YouTube?
I like to at least reach 100 subscribers if I could.
I think that's easy enough between now and next year. But what about content? What content are you striving to make, and how can people get in touch with you?
I like to at least. I'll stick with comedy, to be honest with you. I will stick with comedy for now. I like to do more serious stuff.
Well, serious, come on my channel.
Yeah, serious stuff eventually. But I'll just say on my side now, I like to do comedy to not confuse people.
No, well, we always said this, didn't we? When I started doing that a little bit, I was like, it's not going to work if I start putting like on your channel, because you need people to sort of like what you're doing.
Yeah.
In a daft way, and you can get that now, can't you? When I said your comedy is like, and you want to keep that message.
I wanna keep that consistency.
Yeah.
The daft message up, to be honest with you. Yeah. I like to do a bit. See, this is the thing where it's all going wrong now, because PC humour. I like to tap into like other versions of comedy, so like put a bit of. Because I was saying this to my dad as well. Like for me, I've started putting a bit of like rudeness in my comedies, because that's what makes it funny.
Well, there's a difference between rudeness and offensiveness.
No, not like offensiveness. Like
you know the Carry On films.
Yeah.
Where have you ever watched them?
I might have seen them.
Their style of comedy is innuendo, smut, but it's done in a light-hearted way.
Yeah.
That's what you should do.
Yeah. So like I don't know, like Sticky Fingers Hotel, say. Do you know that type of thing? That's the type of humour.
Oh yeah, that was great.
That's the type of humour I want to kind of bring in more. Yeah. And not be afraid to bring it in, because that's just the type of.
So when you wrote that line, obviously, because you're right, knowing who you're going to be, because it's the first time you acted with someone on your travel shop.
Yeah.
Or in any sketches.
Yeah.
And you wrote that with me in mind.
Yeah.
And that's a good writer, because that means that you're thinking about what will work best in the scene.
Do you know what though? Like when I very first met you, it's like coming across. So you can't. The reason why I was able to write it, because you remind me of my cousin in a way, because my cousin is kind of like rudeness, very daft, doesn't kind of give a shit basically.
Are you saying I don't give a shit, sir?
No, but like, you know what I mean? Like you're
right, don't give a shit.
You're not afraid to kind of like be as daft and rude and all that. No. And he's the same. Yeah. He's private, he can keep stuff private, but he's not afraid to kind of act daft and go, ooh, look at me, type of thing. So I was thinking of him, but then thinking of you when I was writing it, and then that's how I kind of got those kind of
It's
characters.
funny because Sticky Fingers, right, as a concept for a hotel, my character didn't like, but I love in real life. So I had to play against type.
Yeah, it's so weird, because like I was thinking, I want to try and make it as humorous as possible. So like, I wanted to try and create like this like kind of professional persona, like a dad would if like he was ringing up a travel shop, asking what type of hotels you've got. I mean, as like when you ring up a travel shop, I wanted to put something funny in there. I didn't want to put like, oh yeah, you can stay in this hotel, blah blah blah, be this much, because people be like, boring. Where if you put like another thing in, like have a blast hotel, say, people are gonna be like, oh yeah, like we go there to have fun and enjoy ourselves and stuff like that.
Well, look, they're not just the sketches, but when we used to do the live shows, it's about the little touches.
Yeah,
so it's like when we were doing improvs on the live shows, and I was like, my name's Phil McCracken.
Yeah.
That's a little thing, but some people might find that hilarious, and some people might go.
It's weird because like it's so weird because when I've been on loads of cruises, and this is where it relates to. I had something in mind, and it was like, if you do not like rude behaviour, please leave now. Otherwise, if you get offensive, you will not enjoy the show. And used to get like about 20 people leaving the seats because it was like, oh, no, I'm not into that, darling, you, and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, and you've got other people like the likes of myself, and the likes of like your mum and dad say, watching the show, and you just didn't, and the comedian didn't give a toss what he was saying, and that's what comedy should be about. Nowadays, it's all broken up into PC humour, and you think, I've got to be careful what I say here.
It's not just that. Every media is now about, we need to represent someone.
Yeah, we need to.
Which is not acting, creative content, films, series. You should be able to relate to other people.
Yeah,
this is what really bugs me, because why should we have a quota of people on screen just to have their representation, when the whole point in watching a film is to relate to someone else who's not you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what really pisses me off. But anyway, we're gonna wrap up now because I'm conscious of our shriveled penises. So, what's your YouTube channel called?
Subscribe to Harry Reacts Official.
You're nearly looking somewhere else then. Look to the audience.
Subscribe to Harry Reacts Official.
Yeah, or you just did that thing, because you know I superimpose things now, don't you?
Yeah.
I usually do.
Reacts Official.
And obviously you're on my YouTube channel, so if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. You know, join the party, because it's all going on, isn't it?
stephenjholloran.
You've just confused people now. They think I've got 4 J's in it now. So subscribe if you haven't, because I'm regularly getting about 800 views on each video now, and I'm only on 300 and odd. I know you're rolling your eyes, but it's true. I mean, the amount of views I'm getting, but come on, subscribe. Come on, make a young girl happy, all right? And not me, any person.
Okay.
But anyway, thank you so much for the interview today.
You're welcome.
And come back soon. Actually, I'll do a separate video for that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you all back. The people who've already interviewed, you're the first. So, haha. If I've interviewed you already, I'm coming back round to you because I need to do a part 2. The next person I plan to do is Christian, so I'll do him again. And if you are an actor or a creative or someone who's got a story to tell, email me, stephenjholloran@gmail.com, and we'll go forward with a personalised interview just like this one. Harry, marks out of 10, what do you think?
I'll give you a 10, yeah.
Not a 9?
No, I'll give you a 10.
Oh, so no room for improvement whatsoever?
No.
See, there you go. What have you got to lose? See you in a bit.